Hey everybody, it's Keagan here. I'm back with another video for you guys, and for today's video I'm bringing you guys another edition of Keagan's movie reviews once again. And today we're going to be talking about two movies this time, both of which are brand new movies that were released in theaters over the weekend. So let's talk about them. And the first film we're going to be talking about is one I saw in theaters on Friday, which was the day this and the next film were released, and that is the 2024 film Humane, which was directed by Caitlin Cronenberg, who is the daughter of David Cronenberg and the brother of Brandon Cronenberg. And this film was released on Friday, April 26, 2024, and I saw this one the same day it came out. And yeah, Caitlin Cronenberg is a photographer, and this is her first film she's directed, and I guess she's made a name for herself in the family business, since her father is probably one of the most well-known Canadian film directors of all time, as he directed films like Videodrome, Naked Lunch, Crash, the 1996 movie, and a couple of others, while her brother Brandon directed films like Antiviral, Possessor, and Infinity Pool. And yeah, this is her first film she's made. This one I've been looking forward to for a little while when it was announced that another Cronenberg name was going to be added to the family business, if you know what I mean. And the premise alone sounded pretty interesting to me. So we're going to get into the plot pretty quickly and then we'll get into my thoughts on it. So let's take a dive into Humane. So, Humane takes place in the not too distant future when the world experiences an environmental crisis which forces the world to reduce the population by 20%, and so governments around the world are having people enlisted into euthanizing themselves for the sake of humanity due to this environmental crisis. And it centers around a family during over the course of one day whose family dinner turns into chaos when the father enlists that he and his wife both euthanize themselves for the program. However, when the mother backs out last minute and after the father dies, it leaves the family to give one choice of which one of them is going to die, so that the company that does the business has one more body to bring back, because it was assigned for two people to die. And then from there, hell breaks loose. And without giving away too much, that's basically the story of the film in a nutshell. Now, I don't have a whole lot to say about Humane, so we'll get by this one pretty quickly. I thought this movie was pretty good. It's not a perfect or an amazing movie or anything, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was pretty well casted, and it was fairly funny at times. It's more of a comedy film, and it's not really a horror movie. But I enjoyed it for what it was. But it does have its fair share of flaws. I think the biggest flaw with this movie that I can think of is that it doesn't really delve deep into what caused the environmental crisis that occurs in the movie, and who decided this euthanasia program for people to basically end their lives to reduce the world's population by 20% for this crisis. It's not really mentioned in the film what caused it and who was the government or what person suggested that it come into play, if you know what I mean. That's kind of really the only issue I have with this movie. But other than that, I thought it was a solid movie. It's not the best, not a great or a perfect movie or anything, but I enjoyed it for what it was. And for a debut feature by the daughter of one of Canada's finest filmmakers, I thought this was a pretty decent movie. And I can't wait to see what Caitlin Cronenberg comes up with in the future. But other than that, Caitlin Cronenberg has made a name of herself for the family business, since there's now three Cronenbergs in the business now. there's David Cronenberg, Brandon Cronenberg, and now Caitlin Cronenberg. So, yeah, I don't have anything else to add, so I guess I'm going to give Humane a 6.7 out of 10. And I think that's a fair rating, I'd say. And the last film we're going to be talking about in this video is the new Luca Guadagnino film, Challengers, which this one I saw in theaters on Saturday. This one I've been looking forward to for quite a while, since I do enjoy Luca Guadagnino's films. And he is the same director of films like Call Me By Your Name, the 2018 remake of Suspiria, I Am Love, and his previous film Bones and All, which I talked about back in season 4 of this series. And I've been looking forward to this movie for quite a while, because Luca Guadagnino is a great director, and in my opinion is one of the best working directors of today. And I believe this movie was supposed to come out back in September, I believe it was, but due to the strikes that were going on at the time, it was delayed to April. And it finally came out over the weekend, and I saw it on Saturday, and I really enjoyed it. And in my opinion, it's Luca Guadagnino's best film since Call Me By Your Name, but more on that later. But anyways, let's get into the plot of the film really quickly, and then we'll get into my thoughts on it. So let's take a dive into Challengers. Now, this film follows a love triangle between 3 tennis players named Tashi, played by Zendaya, who you might know from Dune and the TV show Euphoria. Art, played by Mike Faist, and Patrick, played by Josh O'Connor, who you might know from a movie called God's Own Country from 2017. And anyways, the story takes place in 2019, but takes place in various flashbacks that date from the late 2000s to the early 2010s over the course of a single tennis game. Now, Art and Tashi are a married couple, while Patrick is a single man. The 3 were caught up in a love triangle during their young years of new tennis players, or whatever you call them. And over the years, Art has been on a losing streak and is on a tournament to redeem his status and make a comeback of his losing streak. And it's not until the last match of the tournament where he has to face off against Patrick, his ex-best friend. And throughout the film, it shows the flashbacks of how their friendship fell apart and the conflict between all 3 characters. And without giving away too much, that's basically the story of the film in a nutshell. Wow, this movie was excellent. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed every minute of it. The cinematography was excellent, much like the previous films from Luca Guadagnino. The soundtrack was really good, and the score, which was done by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who also did the score for Guadagnino's previous film, Bones and All, was excellent too. And it goes really well with the film too. And it's got like this upbeat dance music, or whatever you call it, from like the 2010s. That kind of music, if you know what I'm talking about. And it goes really well with some scenes in the film. Like, it was really well done. And the performances were all really well done, especially from Zendaya, who in my opinion delivers her best performance since Dune Part 1 and Part 2 and Euphoria. And all in all, this movie was just excellent. And the writing was really well done too. And the screenwriter for this movie is actually the husband to Celine Song, who directed Past Lives, which I actually still haven't seen that movie yet, but I do want to see it. Yeah, interestingly enough, the screenwriter of this movie is married to the director of that movie, which is pretty interesting. And he actually hasn't written a screenplay before, so this was actually his first screenplay. And surprisingly, he did a great job with the screenplay. And all in all, this movie was just, it was really, really, really well done. And I would highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. And if you haven't seen any film from Luca Guadagnino and you don't know where to start, I would suggest maybe with this one or maybe Call Me By Your Name. But Luca Guadagnino is definitely one of the best directors working today. And out of all the films of his that I've seen, which I haven't seen every single film that he's made, but I've seen just about most of them, this one's my favorite out of all of them. But all in all, it was a very, very good movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And as of this video, so far, Challengers is my favorite film of 2024 so far, unless something else takes that place. So until then, as of right now, Challengers is my favorite film of 2024 so far. Anyways, I'm giving Challengers a 9 out of 10. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, as always, feel free to leave a like, comment below, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and share the video with your friends. And more movie review videos will be coming out soon, so stay tuned for more. But anyways, until then, this is Keagan Shepherd signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. And yeah, take care, everybody. Peace out. Bye-bye.